Hello, and welcome to the Mental Wealth channel, where we navigate different kinds of mental health challenges. I am a person with lived experience with several different mental health conditions, and this is a place where we can learn coping skills and self-soothing techniques. If you or anybody you know has struggled with any mental health condition, this is the place for you. Welcome, everybody, and today we're going to talk about gratitude. First of all, what is gratitude? Gratitude is a state of mind where one looks for things that one might take for granted, for example, or finding things that we appreciate in the present moment in our lives. Gratitude is a state of mind of presence and acknowledging what we do have instead of focusing on what we don't have. Focusing on the things we don't have or something to complain about, it usually brings about feelings of stress. Stress can't be a part of development of diseases and creates a state of mind where we're simply not fulfilled. So, when we focus on what we do have, we feel better about our lives, about our physical state, our emotions, and we can divide gratitude into different categories. And there are things that we can find to be grateful for in each category. We have our physical body, emotional well-being, romantic relationships, social life, etc. So being human is composed of many different parts. In every aspect of our life, we can focus on things we lack that we wish we had, or we can focus on what we do have. So when we focus on what we do have, we are more present, and since it relieves stress, it improves the quality of our life. And I would like to insert my little disclaimer here because it can be misinterpreted as toxic positivity when there is a situation in our life that we are not grateful for because it is a traumatic event or simply a life event like losing someone we love and having to grieve. We are not talking about putting things under the rug and pretend that we don't have feelings that aren't comfortable. Part of gratitude is being able to learn to experience the human condition, which involves all different types of feelings. And so instead of putting things under the rug when a situation that is difficult happens, we are able to feel it and go through it. And if we don't do this, then we cover up those emotions with harmful habits such as addictions or distractions. So we're not talking about pretending that nothing harmful or hurtful is happening. When we develop a gratitude practice consistently and on a daily basis as much as possible by writing it down or talking about it with an accountability friend or a partner, or when we just remember to feel grateful for things on a daily basis, what that does is that in difficult times, we ourselves remember our practice because we've done it consistently. And so we still feel whatever it is that we need to feel and go through in order to not develop harmful habits towards ourselves. But in those moments, we will remember that there are also things to be grateful for. And this is something that we do for ourselves. And we can share this with others. And I don't recommend if somebody's struggling and coming up to you with something difficult, for somebody to reply, well, you should be grateful about this, or why don't you focus on gratitude? That is not compassionate. So the gratitude practice is also a very personal practice. And we can share it with others when somebody is being receptive and is maybe asking for advice. That is what we do with gratitude. And if you experience moments where you feel there is absolutely nothing to be grateful for, and you are in this type of state of mind where it's very hard to find something to be grateful for, there is always the option to go back to the basics. And by the basics, I mean the little things we take for granted every single day, such as being able to have vision, for example, to have a sense of hearing so we can hear music that we love and we can listen to other people's kind words, or a TV show that makes you laugh, or anything that brings joy to your life through listening. We also take for granted, if we have able bodies, the ability to stand up and walk, and the ability to dance if we choose to. Just thinking about the physical body, it is very easy to focus on the things that we wish were different. And sometimes we forget all the blessings that our body gives us, such as the ability to walk, to write, to pick up a cup of coffee, little things like that. We can always go back to basics with remembering that we have an emotional support animal, that we have one person that we enjoy talking to. And going back to the basics when times are difficult and we think there is nothing to be grateful for, it is so incredible to realize that there is always something that we didn't see, that we take for granted maybe, and we start appreciating all the little things, and we stop taking for granted so many aspects of our lives. And when difficulties come, or there are injustices, or whatever it is that's going on, we can have an attitude of acknowledging, feeling, and then focusing our thoughts and emotions in a direction that will aid our physical, mental, and emotional health. Also, the reason that a consistent daily practice is so important on a personal level is because when I go through moments of crisis, when I go through difficult times, I don't remember the tools I have that help me get through it. I don't remember the self-soothing techniques that help me navigate the difficult experiences in the moment. Navigating difficult experiences is very important, but if we're emotionally dysregulated, it is not the best time to address them. Coming back to a state of regulation, we can more clearly see the picture and we can take action more mindfully. And that's why this practice works, and I will be talking about other self-soothing techniques and other practices that work in future episodes. But since we're focusing on gratitude, the daily practice creates the habit of remembering the practice when the moments of crisis come. I do not remember. I can tell you so many times where I was in crisis and I'm like, why did I not do those things that I know have helped me in the past? And it's because I don't have the habit. And it might feel like a chore at the beginning, or it's just something new, but it's just such a lovely way to start the day. And we start finding new things to be grateful for that have been in our lives our entire life, and we might not have been acknowledging them. So, gratitude is a great way to acknowledge all the things we have during these 24 hours, because that, in essence, is all we have. You deserve to count your blessings. You deserve to point out every single little thing that is amazing in every area of your life. Thank you all for listening. And if you don't know where to start, in my next episode, I will just provide the space for us to sit and journal together. It won't be a lot of talking. It will just be a place where you can press play. We can bring out our journals together and have the space to practice. I will put a little timer and we're going to do the practice together. So hope to see you there and have a beautiful 24 hours. See you soon.